What's up, everybody? It's Johnny with Blood Alliance. After the events that took place last week, I have sat and prayed and contemplated on what I actually wanted to do and if I even wanted to say anything more than I have in a couple posts. But after this morning, I realized that it's time to say something. And so here it is. Last week, we watched a man who gave a platform to both sides get murdered in cold blood in front of thousands of people. Some of those people were friends of ours that were there and witnessed this live and are dealing with the aftermath, the trauma, and the effects of watching a man get killed right in front of thousands of people, his wife, and his own children. Regardless of whether you agreed with him or believed what he had to say, there's no reason for this. The evil that has shown its face afterwards, mocking, celebrating, and profoundly declaring falsities about how he spoke, has to be silenced. I don't care if you agreed with him or believed in what he said, but the way that he is being portrayed is also not accurate. And if you want to post things about statements that he made, please deliver it with context previous to and after. You didn't have to like it, but he gave you a microphone, whether you were on his side or not, to declare your truths and follow those up with facts in order to win debates. His delivery wasn't perfect. He was often flawed in the way that he responded, but he was 31 years old. And for those of you that have lived your life at 31, who had it figured out? He had so much more to give, so much more growth to go through, and so much more maturity to gain. And it hurts my heart to think about who he could have become and how his voice and his delivery could have been polished. But we'll never get to see that. And at this point, I feel like evil has gotten so loud and so bold that there's nothing else to do than to stand up and be bold ourselves and be even louder. Yes, I am a believer. I am a Christian, and I love God with all my heart. I have been for most of my life. And honestly, I have played small with some of these platforms because I didn't want to be divisive. I didn't want to share something that I truly believe in and have somebody turn away from a message they could have received about healing or love, or even just embracing a moment that we share in some of the conflicts, the turmoil, or the struggles that we've gone through, and how you are not alone in those. But it's time to stop playing small. So, with this, if you can see on my shirt, it says fear is an illusion. And that fear that I have had is gone. It's time for us that stand on truth, stand with facts, and stand on this being not a political issue, not a spiritual issue, a human morality and decency issue. I don't care if you aligned with his political views or if you aligned with his spiritual stance. None of that matters at the end of the day. The evil that I have seen, the hate that I have seen being spewed out and portrayed is a matter of a lack of human decency and human morality. And to that, I will stand up against. Ecclesiastes 3:1-5 says, "For everything there is a season, a time for every activity under heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to harvest, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to tear down and a time to build up, a time to cry and a time to laugh, a time to grieve and a time to dance, a time to scatter stones and a time to gather stones, a time to embrace and a time to turn away." And it's time to turn away from the evil and the hate that we have in this world. It is alive and well. It has shown its ugly face, and I cannot believe how much of it I had to experience on my own friends lists, on my own feeds, and in my own personal life. That is never a place to breed health. That is never going to breed any health in this world. It is only going to breed more darkness. A couple more verses that have spoken to me over the last couple days are Psalms 94:16. Who will protect me from the wicked? Who will stand up for me against evildoers? Psalms 97:10. You who love the Lord hate evil. He protects the lives of his godly people and rescues them from the power of the wicked. And that rescue doesn't always look the way that we think it does. This man was rescued from the power of the wicked because he hated evil, and he was sent to be next to his Lord, his Savior, his God. And if that's the way that things are going to go, then I will boldly stand up and proclaim the same. This evil is not okay, and I hate it, and I will stand against it. This band is named Blood of Lions, and there are two meanings to that. When I first wanted to name this band, I wanted it to be powerful. I wanted it to have a message. I wanted there to be depth, because that's how I write. I write about real things that have gone on in my life, things that I've made it through, like suicide, sexual abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse, things that I've done wrong, things where I've fallen short. Where none of us are perfect. We all fall short. That is not what this message is about. We are not perfect because we're standing for a man that got murdered in plain sight in daylight in front of thousands of people and his own family. We are standing up against the evil and the hate that took his life and that began to celebrate his life being taken. This band is called Blood of Lions, first and foremost, because of 1 Peter 5:8. It says, "Stay alert. Watch out for your great enemy, the devil. He prowls around like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour." We all have demons. We all have evil inside of us. Whether you're a believer or not, that is the truth. And you get to choose what you let out. And for me, this band is about slaying those demons and slaying that evil inside of us and letting the good, letting the love reside and pour out of you. And secondly, a lion is a powerful image. A lion is a king and ruler. And for that, we all have the blood of a lion inside of us as well. And what do lions do? They roar, they get loud, and they're bold. And when evil gets loud and bold, it's time for us to get louder and bolder than the evil, the ones that see the good. It is time for us to stand up and roar like a lion, not sit back and meow and purr like a house cat. It's time for us to start a movement, and this band will stand for truth, for love, for respect, and for human decency. I truly don't care how many followers or people I lose from my life for standing for truth and righteousness and human decency. This band will stand rooted in that message and that truth. Jesus is alive. Jesus saves, and God is real. And Blood of Lions is going to stand on this message and use its platform for good, rather than let the evil take over this world any longer. This is Johnny with Blood of Lions signing off. Love to you all.